Right, Sarah will just show us the work on the long rein for a moment. And if she does it correctly, if she keeps the contact with Esther's mouth, please, Sarah, on the long rein, actually, if Esther really stretches her neck and lowers in front, lowers that neck, lowers the head, the nose should come a little bit behind the vertical at this point. It's not that we've changed anything, it's just that when the horse is high in front, the nose comes up. When the horse is low in front, the nose starts to appear to slant a little backwards without having changed anything. That's just literally from the same feel on the rein, but with a longer rein. So always feel that you're keeping the contact with the horse's mouth, even in the work on the long rein. On the long rein, don't let the horse poke its nose, because if it does, it means he's not flexing correctly from the pole. Don't forget, I'm talking about a slightly well-schooled horse. I'm not talking about a baby horse. With the baby horse, he may well poke his nose, and you should not be too harsh on him. You should just try and encourage him to listen and to drop a little bit from the pole, but you should never, ever pull back. So look, you see, that's perfect now. She's stretching the neck. The neck is not broken. The neck is long and arching. And Sarah is just gently feeling, asking and giving on the rein to encourage Esther to stay in contact with her. Contact can be, as you know, any length of rein at all, as long as the horse is still there. And I think you should all know, as riders, what I mean by there. It means that you can just feel them there. They're just responding. Right, Sarah, please pick up the reins, just quietly and gradually, and send her forward. Why are you putting your ears back, Esther? Thank you. Go forward on the right rein, and just ask for a little bit of medium walk with correct bend. And remembering that when you ask for the correct bend, you're not asking the horse to bend halfway down its neck. You're asking the horse just to bend from the pole. The joint just behind the ears. So as you ride, even if you're riding a circle or a turn, come onto a big circle halfway up the school, Sarah. Even on a circle and turn, you're never pulling that neck round. You're asking the horse just to look to the right, but never to break the line of the neck. The neck must always be part of the horse's back. It should all flow forward in one piece. And for me, roundness starts with the hind end, not the front end. So I am looking for Esther to be round from the hindquarters up, over the back, into the wither, and up into this beautiful curving, arching neck, despite the ear saying, I don't know if I want to do this at the moment. Esther, that's better. Okay, will you proceed, Sarah, to trot on the big circle? And just think of keeping Esther nicely on the bit, but still light in your hand. And if she gets heavy, think a little bit of half halt in your own body, but try to do very little with the hand, except just a feel and a little ask, but never feeling you have to shorten or pull back on the rein. And now I want you to slow the trot a little, and think of the slowness coming from you rather than thinking of slowing the horse down. Think of it coming from you so that you rise slower, and you take more of a deep breath as you rise to kind of hold the balance a little bit more so that she slows. Think slower, good. And that didn't involve any shortening of the rein. Just change the rein, Sarah, when you want. Sitting or rising. Keep that feeling. See, her head is perfectly in the vertical, but I don't feel that Sarah has fixed her head there. If I thought she'd fixed it, I would probably say let the head go a little, but she's in the vertical now with the head, but she hasn't shortened her neck, and that's good. Ideally, I'd like to see Esther working with a little bit more lightness in her shoulders. She's still a little bit on the forehand for me, and I want you to slow down again, Sarah, and change the rein. So think slower, don't be in such a hurry, slower, and change the rein. Good. And try not to speed up when you come to the long side, because horses always want to speed up on the long side. Try now to just keep that trot a little steadier so that it's not so much about speed, it's a little bit more about power and poise. Power does not mean speed. Power means that the horse is pushing from behind, but allowing you to control how much goes out through the shoulders. So a little slower again. Maybe shorten the reins a tiny bit, Sarah. Shorten the reins a little bit. It's very difficult when you're riding in here with the echo and everything for the rider to hear. It's much easier for the audience to hear. Shorten the reins again, a fraction. So I don't want Sarah to shorten the reins in order to pull back. I actually want Sarah to shorten the reins so that her body is in a better position. Because when your reins are too long, you end up with your hands in your lap, and you're always fiddling around, and it doesn't keep you so square or so poised or with such good core body support. Good. And when you're ready, go to walk. Super. And long rein again. Just give the rein and allow her to stay gently on the bit, but with a long rein and a long neck. And if possible, try to get her nose right down. So that is Esther's reward for having done a nice trot. And I don't think anyone does this enough, especially with young horses. You cannot expect a horse to hold itself in a frame for more than about, well, with the advanced horse, more than about 6 or 7 minutes in exactly the same frame without then letting them stretch. A lot of people do, and what happens then is the horse gets tense. The horse gets very tense in its neck and back, and the blood sugar, which should flow freely around the muscles and feed the muscles, gets knocked out. It doesn't get a chance to go to where it has to go. So what happens then is the horse gets tighter and tighter, tenser and tenser. It may look good, but it doesn't feel good, and it doesn't actually work the horse's body properly because you're having a short circuit of what should be happening. So never think that this is a waste of time. What this is doing is it's allowing the muscles, which were a little bit tenser, to work, to lengthen. Imagine if someone made you walk around with your arm like this for 6 minutes. I think you'd find that your arm started to ache. Now that is my arm in tension. I've tensed all these muscles to do this with my arm. That is my arm in extension. Esther is now extending, and thank God, you know, you feel the blood flow back into the veins and everything feels good again. When you work in the gym, you don't hold anything for more than a minute or so. You don't hold a position like this and stay there for half an hour. And yet you see horses being worked and worked and worked and worked before a show, and the rider does nothing. He never lets the rein go. Shall we have a look at the canter? Right. I want you to shorten the rein again a little bit. I want you to be that little bit more empowered on her back. So your tummy is forward, your shoulders are back, small of your back is forward. There you are, and now you can collect her up. You see how she's collected? Collect the walk, good. And then you'll find it much easier when you make your transition to canter. You can either go walk to canter, I'm going to leave it with you, or trot to canter. Right, walk to canter. Good girl, forward. And now allow a little more. What's good about Sarah's riding is her inside leg is in the correct place at the girth. Her outside shoulder comes round, allowing the horse to bring its outside shoulder round. She's sitting in the middle of the saddle. It's a nice Albion saddle, which I highly recommend. And you'll find me at the Albion stand after if you want to come and ask me any questions at all. I've got lots of books there, DVDs, and you can look at all the lovely Albion saddles. The Albion saddle, like many good dressage saddles, helps the rider to sit in the right part of the horse's back. Okay, Sarah, forward again to trot when you're ready. Good. And think of that trot now being a little slower, a little bit more uphill. not by pulling on the rein, but by you drawing up with your upper body. Keep the lower leg long, taller upper body, and a soft feel in the fingers, soft feel. Try and feel that the inside rein starts to become a little lighter on the circle as Esther bends more around your inside leg. That's still a bit fast. Steady, steady, steady. And walk. Good. Patter and long rein, and change the rein. You might think I'm excessive in my long reins. I'm not. I would rather have 3 minutes of quality work and then the long rein than 6 minutes of bad work, the horse getting fed up. It's the little things that make a difference to the horse. It's that easing of the rein and then asking again. And this horse is quite strong, but not incredibly strong. And she really worked quite nicely then, so you give a reward. How is your shoulder in, Sarah? Well?
It's all right.
Right.
It's fine, you have to worry about.
Okay, after you're walking the long rein, you can now take up the reins again. I don't do it for hours at a time. I just give her a little break, start again, move on to something new. Forward on the right rein, Sarah, and make a 10-meter circle in that corner. So 10-meter circle roughly now. Think of the inside leg being deep. Let the horse move around your inside leg, not because you're pushing her at it with it. You're allowing it to drop. But then, as you move into the shoulder in, think of both her shoulders and your two shoulders looking towards me. That's it. And you may move you can move the inside leg a little back to help her step under. Good girl, forward. Just allow with the fingers. Allow. Good girl. Good girl. And you see, that is actually very nice because her inside rein has become lighter than the outside. In the shoulder in, the horse has to fill the outside rein more. And as the inside hind steps across, the inside hand suddenly feels there's less weight there. Change the rein in this corner and try that on the left side, but I think we'll do it back on that arena wall, okay? So I tell you what, go on the left rein and then come down the center line and then try the shoulder in left along that arena wall. From the back, Esther looks quite good. She's tracking up quite well. But obviously in collected walk, turn down the center line, Sarah. Left bend, or the quarter line. Obviously, in collected work, we are not expecting the hind legs to overtrack. Now I want you on this wall. They won't see you if you don't do it from there to here. Left rein, thank you. So go down the center line, and then start your shoulder in that corner where the flowers are. Make a small circle, followed by shoulder in left in walk. The shoulder in is the best exercise in the world for working the horse's hind end. It gets the horse to use its hind end, its hind hock. Its left hock is going to have to step more over to make the shoulder in movement. And when it does that, it has to bend every single joint in that hind leg. So that is why it's such a good exercise, and you can start it quite early in the horse's education. After about a year and a half, there's no reason not to start it in walk like this. I'm a great believer in doing shoulder in walk. Very good. Straighten. So straighten up. That's it. Super. And later, as the horse gets more advanced, we can do it in trot. So Sarah, once more, trot down the center line now, and just show us a little bit of shoulder in trot. Yeah. Now don't go zooming off. Nice, steady, slow trot. She's doing it on the center line. Very smart. And on the track, shoulder in on the track. Steady, slow, good. Super. Super. Touch with the leg, but not too much. And straight. Well done. Very good. Super. And change the rein. And don't go zooming off. Stay collected. They're always in a great hurry, Sarah and Esther. Right, we'll do one on the trot on that side, on the right rein. So just come past me. That's fine. You go anywhere you like. We're not doing a dressage test. Go large and then start in trot on that side. Now slower. You're not what? She's not very good on this rein. I'm sure she'll be fine. Circle right. The audience are behind you. Circle right. Long inside leg for the bend. Long inside leg for the circle. And then the inside leg moves a little back for the shoulder in. And the most important aid is the rider's upper body. Both shoulders looking right. Both seat bones looking right. Both feet looking right. Good. Not as good as the other one, but not bad. Well done. Okay, you can go to walk and have a rest. Have a rest. Walk. Good girl. Long rein. So you come in here, Sarah, and may I ride your horse? Oh, right, she says. I don't know if that meant, oh, no.